Hello everybody, my name is Orlock425 and we're back to another talking discussion episode 6, and in this episode I'm going to be talking about the Xbox One X failure at price theme Microsoft. And in this video I'm going to be playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer online. So before we get into this episode, I wanted to make a clear out update news of what was happening in the past few weeks and days. Previously, I've been going through all my studies for my testing because I had a final test for my end semester at Mount Sac in the filming classroom, and apparently after when I got back to do more channel stuff, I've been having a little bit of a break before I get into back to talking about situations, events, and knowing that E3 was around, I had to wait until I get to review what the new console was going to be about. But after realizing this problem or thing that just occurred, I wanted to talk about it in my channel. And this is like one of my first review talking about for consoles or just release on, a big famous product that's new on this. Let's talk about what was the main concerns and the problems that I've been having with the Xbox One X. So the trailer world premiere released for the Xbox One X, and I saw this on E3 too, where it showed the new console that has 6 teraflops GPU, 4K gaming, and it's compatible now with the original old Xbox games, 360 games. 3 more categories to fit in there. No, when it came to the pricing, at first, okay, $499, not so bad, right? But then after, when I saw the storage, 1 terabyte of hard drive storage, my mind immediately realized this is a shockingly ripped off product, because you're paying more for less storage of gaming. Now, I've been tweeting this because I didn't want to make this review so fast without talking to the people of the Xbox team that made this product and telling my concerns why they put so little storage in this console, knowing that when we have so much games, it's going to fill up quick. So I talked to them on Twitter, and I actually tweeted them on Twitter talking about this situation, and this is what I received. As you can see, these 2 pictures, it has them talking about the hard drive are not the main differences. The Xbox One X has better memory, CPU, and GPU by far. But my concern was the pricing for 1 terabyte, which could have been a better job if they put 2 terabyte. So I talked to them that the storage will fill up quick at 17 games. Knowing this, they suggested to be buying a 3-point drive at least with 256 gigabytes, knowing that that's only like storing so little of few games in there, knowing those are going to fill up also, which means I'm not paying $499, I'm paying more than that to buy more storage for the console, which feels to me like they're probably telling me that this is the only way to put more storage, which is going to cost me more than the price, or on top of it at least, which isn't good at all. So I told them it was great, but I also confirmed that they still could have done a better job if they kept it at 2 terabytes for that same price, but only for them to tell me back then it wouldn't be so low, which makes no point of why making it rank so high if it's not like a laptop? And that was my other concern, that this is not a laptop, this is an Xbox console. And knowing how much it fills up, you're gonna get a lot of storage filling up really quick, which is a main concern for me, knowing that a lot of games out there I want to get, and this storage is so little small of that price. Now, do you see something fishy about them? Like, I'm talking to Evil Corp, and this is not good at all. Now, I want to shout out to those Microsoft team. The reason why I came to talk about this is because when you look at the Xbox One S, it does the same thing. Play 4K, have all those features where you can play the Xbox One games, the 360 games, and who knows if it's still going to be with an update of compatible to play the old games of the Xbox. No, the reason why I brought this up is because the problem is that the Xbox One S has 2 terabytes to fill up more games than the Xbox One X. And you have a problem right there, knowing that when you look at the prices at shopping to buy an Xbox One S at 2 terabytes, in the list will show you exactly a price of $399 for 2 terabyte console, which is telling me that you guys are setting your prices at a wrong point. $499 is not a way to release this console to get people to buy it, because most of the people's reviews, what I've seen from IGN and around YouTubers, they're willing to have a discount or wait until Black Friday to get it cheaper than the original price. Most of them for Christmas rather get the Xbox One S, because knowing that the storage, or if they haven't seen it yet, knowing that the console itself might be a little bit too much at that state, which is kind of bad. It is. And I'm making this to you guys out there, Microsoft. This is not a good price to be selling this console at, especially when you have prices from the Xbox One S and downer to the original Xbox One at lower than $399. In suggestions, leave any comments down below to talk about something that could have been a little bit better job with this company, Microsoft, on the Xbox One X, on the pricing, or by average storage. This is like a storage that, is kind of low at a high price, similar to like EA's Battlefront, where you pay more for less stuff in the gaming, and it's just a game. Now, would you prefer to pay a less amount for more, or pay more for a less? Now, not saying that the Xbox is bad. It's a good Xbox. It's one of the best. And I seen it, I was kind of amazed. What can it do? However, even though it's a best console, I'm looking for a console for more storage, not for less. Because I seen when I played with my cousins, I seen how the console fills up quick. I know where it goes. The ones that have 500 for sure fill up insanely quick. The 1 terabyte barely is getting there to the endpoint. My other cousin has the 2. He's not even close to being near the endpoint, because he has a 2 terabyte which holds more space to store more games. Now you count the method. You have your 360 games, you have your old Xbox games, you have the newer games that are coming out, and the games that one of your favorites you like. including the ones that are horror games, that's gonna take a lot of space, which comes to the point where you're gonna have at least 17 or higher, depending where it ranks at. Then you have to buy flash drives that gonna cost you like 80 and higher dollars for just one drive, probably 100, just to store in more games to your console. It doesn't look that good, to be honest. Maybe it does for some people who are willing to do this, but for some, it's kind of a problem. And yes, I wasn't disappointed that I know it's in the best console and it will be expensive. And I knew Microsoft was going to do this. However, giving us less for more is not the way to sell this console at its current state right now. Because a lot of people are suggesting to wait for a discount on the pricing because of that. Like I said, this console is not what everyone is going to get right away. They rather wait because of the storage it has. That since it's a 1 terabyte, I can just get a discount on Black Friday so I can get this cheaper than the original price it is, making all the other ones even harder for them to be bought, knowing you have to make 3 consoles, the original one, the S one, and the X now. That's coming up for November. That's 3 consoles that you're putting out in the market. Myself, I thought this was going to be a 6 terabyte console, knowing that the gigabytes of the space fill up quick. That would have been so amazing. That would have been the reason why it was $499. But when I realized it was 1 terabyte, that's not a good job. That's a poorly job, knowing that we're paying more for less, which is not right. Now, some gamers out there are willing to have 1 terabyte if they only have some games. I know that they would prefer to have 1 terabyte just to see 4K, and that's fine. That is really fine. However, the original games you have won't able to store that much of them. In fact, you probably have to buy a different console or the same one, which is doubles the console, to 2 of them, which cost maybe near the $1,000 at current state. Now Microsoft is taking that money away from you, knowing that these guys are playing evil corp right now. But that's something that, on your record would probably do if you really want to see 4K gaming and better gaming so badly, if you're probably willing to lose that much. Now, there's a chance they could fix this if they're willing to drop down the price at least 420 to 400, even 399 works. If they can't, at least to 450, because at its high standards, it is too much to be buying at that price of $499. So, in my own decision of thinking about this plot, I think it's better if we buy, and since it has only 1 TB of hard drive and storage in there, it's much a different and improved job if they make this a lower price at this release for this new console. Because if you were to look at this, since it has only 1 storage, that's 1 TB, going through to store games, this will be a good deal at a lower price to buy, knowing that it's not a 2, it's only a 1, to make all my games that I want to store in there, to play them on this new 4K experience, and exclusive to try out what it feels like on this new console. Now, there's a way that this change that they do and they hear us for this price could be better. than the way it is. It's a good deal for people to actually buy this and try it out for themselves. Even if they don't have a 4K TV, they still want to try it out. I look at this on myself, and I really do want to try this out for myself. Now, I could have preferred if the name stayed at Scorpio. A lot of people were telling at E3, Scorpio name is much better than the X. I thought myself that that name was going to be one of the baddest names that could have been in the release box office for the new exclusive reveal of the console, Xbox Scorpio. That would have been much better title. But they obviously Microsoft they would change it. It's called the Xbox One X. And a lot of gamers and people out there are disappointed with that title, but I myself am too. But now the titles has to be Xbox One X. You can't change it now. They messed up from that part too. So hopefully time again Microsoft team and the company can see a new point to our reasons and causes of why it's so important to make sure the pricing's right if your console's storage does not have a lot, or if it does, to make sure that it has an equally even amount to the even storage amount that claim gamers and people want to actually experience this console. Many deals they could have done at pre-order too. Now they see this kind of issue that's happening to make a discount to cut that price in half for people to pre-order and actually see this exclusive price. Actually want to try this out. Because the games that are coming out that are world premiere exclusive, I saw a lot of those games. They're really good, including the Minecraft one. And that 4K Minecraft is really awesome. But if they're gonna go with this bad pricing on this new console, I'm just gonna go to the S because I will still experience gameplays and play the new games that are coming out. For that new console, I won't until something comes up for them to create a discount because many people would rather wait right now. Many gamers would rather wait for Black Friday or the discount to happen. For sure, myself, if the pricing is gonna be like that for 1 terabyte on that console X, I'm not gonna buy it. Because I'd rather pay less for the same value that I'm given for that console and pay more if it has more value to that console. Because, like I said before, it's not a laptop. You cannot store many stuff on that thing like a laptop. It will fill up quick. And since I have so many games that I'm trying to get and store on a console, I add those up, it will fill up to the max. And I'm not willing to pay flash drive after flash drive, even if it's 2 terabyte flash drive. That's still gonna cost you more than the actual price from the console itself. Now look at it this way. Would it have been better to have a console with already 2 terabytes like last year? That will be kind of a good deal because now it's like rather they're too lazy to make that kind of a deal, or they just want more money. That they just want our wallets to be empty and to fill the cash on their table for making such a design. That's one of the evilest ways to take people's money just so they can become more richer or just to use that money for some great ideas and not even tell us about it until they come out with another idea. And that's fine for some gamers, that is. But where does that leave us? Losing more cash. Realizing that the cash that we spent to them, realizing all that is going to them, leaving us wallet broke empty. And that's not even it. You look back at that console, you're gonna be paying more to the store than you ever do in your own life where you eat. You're gonna be paying a lot more. Cause at restaurants you can be paying like a couple of like 10 to 20 bucks. This thing is gonna make you pay like you just did all that in just one day, but only with multiple days. You count those days, how much you're gonna be paying. That's a lot of money. And that's every single day for 1 week. And let me tell you a story back when I was a really young child. I grew up with this console, Microsoft's Xbox, when it first came out. I didn't know what it was. My uncle showed it to me. He actually inspired that we actually try something new. And the first game that everyone probably grew up with, or they haven't, but I certainly grew up with, was our famous old friend Halo. Yep, the first Halo 1 game came out. And I was playing that. It was one of the legit times. When I seen the storage back at the original console, it had a great value to store like infinity games. Like you're talking about storing up to 60 games in one console. And it still worked like a beast to fill all those games up. And how amazing that was back then. That was pretty damn awesome. But it didn't stop there. Once we went back to discover a new console that came out, it had 2 to 4 gigabytes. But when they released to make it higher to 320 to 500, this thing stored more in the hard drive to run as like the original as a beast. That's pretty amazing. However, as soon as time flied by, because they this wanted to create this new, hearing a announcement from one of the most disappointing first reveal event for the new generation Xbox console, I first thought that the 500 gigabyte hard drive was gonna fill up a lot of games. Like we're talking about maybe it would feel like at least at 100 max. No. When we revealed at the console getting less at storage, we were kind of realizing this is not a console to be having a lot of games with. And installing them and reinstalling them, realizing they took more than 3 hours to 4, maybe like 8 to 9, went sour at feeling like a nightmare as each of our cousins were going back to the regular old 360 or the original old Xbox and play something different. At the meantime, while we're already like having fun with original old games, that thing is still loading and it's still installing. It was a disaster. And you had to like have a day before to install it just to get another one to install. It was a nightmare knowing that we're actually waiting for this game to install. And that was the reasons why we didn't want to do this kind of a method. Even with the disc, there was no difference. Digital disc still had the same waiting hourly procedure. It was a shame why we wanted more terabytes on this console. And I thought to myself, Microsoft had finally done it, answered our cause, answered all of what we really and begged for all these months of just having low terabytes to gigabyte consoles. Myself, I thought we finally got a console to store a lot of games, to make our hopes, our dreams, to actually experience and have a large library for this console that was coming out on 4K. And then they said what's one of the best. I was wrong. I was wrong with everything. So I came back knowing that I probably will switch to the S because of the storage it probably holds that my cousin has too. He has a 2 terabyte console that might as well just go for the console with more storage than having less of it. Thanks for going on this down road instead of going up road, Microsoft. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys were listening to this talking discussion, leaving in comments down below in this video, and I'll see you guys next time on the next talking discussion episode. Also, if you want to see anything on my website, you can go check it down in my description. See you guys on the next Orlock 425.